Okay, so guys, I'm giving my ID or my image a special name. And to be consistent with my notes, I'm going to have to look at my notes here. I am going to call it Potato Pick 2. So I have ID equals Potato Pick 2. Quotation marks. Save. It shouldn't change anything in my picture, but I now need to then go to my CSS. So my new image, my image that I just did, I named Potato Pick 2. And Potato Pick 2 is now going to be the special name. So I need to call upon it in my CSS. What do I need in front of the name in CSS to call upon it? Hashtag. So let's go ahead and do that. So at the bottom, I have hashtag potato pick. That's the name of my special name. 2. Curly bracket, opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket. Double check your curly brackets, people. Because if you don't have an opening and closing, it's not going to know what section you're talking about. The opening and closing tell me it starts and ends with that section, that thing. Okay. Next, I'm going to do a border around my potato picture. To do a border, I'm going to use the word border, colon. And then I want to be consistent with my notes for you guys. My potato pick 2 is going to have a border of 2 pixels, 2 px. It is actually going to have a groove, but you can do dotted, you can do double, you can do solid. And I'm going to make mine black. You can make yours any color that you want. And I'm going to refresh, and there's my border around Mrs. Potato Head. She's lovely today. So everyone should have some type of border around their second picture. So I gave this a special ID, and then I did the CSS work for it. The CSS work, I'll make this bigger, guys. I know it's small. The CSS work is a border, 2 picks, groove, and it's black. Potato pick 2 is the second picture. That's all it is. Nothing too fancy.
Oh boy, Jimmy, this might be Jimmy.
All right, next. Next, folks, I want my paragraph that says Mrs. Potato Head is married to, I want the paragraph below my picture to have a special ID. So just like how we can have a special ID for image, I can have a special ID for a paragraph. So go ahead and find your paragraph. Probably underneath your picture. And let's give it a special ID. So ID equals quotation mark. And I'm going to give it a special ID called, mine's going to be called MP Box 1. You can call it whatever you want. Just make sure there's no spaces. So all I did was give my paragraph a special name. So that way, if I want to do something with just my paragraph, just this paragraph that says Mrs. Potato Head is married, I can do that without affecting all the other paragraphs. So if I named it a special ID, I have to use the hashtag MP Box 1 in my CSS. Lauren.
Oh,
So I haven't done anything in my CSS for that paragraph, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go to the bottom, hashtag, and then the special name I called that paragraph, MP box 1. Curly bracket, closing curly bracket. I want to make sure it works. So the first thing I like to do is always have a background color, because that's kind of going to be a given if something is working for that paragraph. So background color, I'm going to make white because I'm boring. Save and refresh. And sure enough, that paragraph that says Mrs. Potato Head is married, I'm guessing to Mr. Potato Head, that should turn white. So one of your paragraphs that you have should be having some type of style to it. So I special named my paragraph, and then I did a hashtag and made it white. Yeah.
I can't practice. I just can't. I can't get the practice. Oh, you won't. See, this is what I'm sure. But that's what like I can imagine also just like, okay, let me just casually switch targets. Oh, I'm back.
Okay. So folks, hopefully our paragraph has a white or some type of funky background. Yeah? We're good? Everyone's there? My goal right now is to get Mrs. Potato Head paragraph, the one that's has a background, to get it to be on the the right-hand side of my picture. So I have to do a few things. So I'm going to be looking at this hashtag MP box CSS stuff. A few things I need to do. I need to make it a certain width, because right now it expands that whole width of the page. So to do that, we have to give it a width. So inside there, we're going to give it a width. W-I-D-T-H. Nothing fancy. I might make it 580. You can make it any size you want, but it should be substantial, but not too big. And you'll notice it does make it a little bit shorter for me right here. So it made it 580 pixels. My goal, again, is to move it right next to Mrs. Potato Head. Oops. So again, I'm going to move this over. I gave it a width of 580. I'm going to float it right, folks. Float, colon, right. Save and refresh. And now it floats right. That box that's white I made, I'm going to float it right. So all I did was I gave it a set width. In order for it to not run into the picture, I had to give it a set width. And then I floated it right, so it'd go right. So if you're not sure, I do actually have it on my notes. Right now I'm on page 1. The back of page 2 under hashtag MP box 1. Mine might look a little slightly different, but it's got the general gist. All right? So she looks beautiful. If I wanted it to be bigger, I could make it a certain height. So if you wanted it to be a bigger box with some height, I could make it maybe 300 picks. It's going to look slightly different than my notes, but at least you guys, folks, will see. Oh, 300 is way too big. I probably should make it maybe only 100. Hopefully that's not too small. Perfect. And then I could do some padding if I wanted. If I wanted the text in there to be not so close to the edges, I can give it some padding. I could do a padding of 10. I think in my notes I did a padding of 5, just so that way it gives it a little cushion so the words aren't really closest to the edge. And that's what the padding does. It gives padding all the way around the text. I'm going to give it some padding, and it's going to go 5 picks all the way around clockwise and save. So now there's just a little bit of padding in there as well. And though it kind of looks like a cheesy website, it's not the greatest. At least it's definitely starting to get some style. Yeah.
Space. Oh.
Go up over your page. Right above or right above the each.
I was going to say.
And she's like, when my mom's not answering her phone, and I like do answer her phone, I set off that alarm. And she doesn't know how to turn it off. And then she was like, oh, it's like the last one. Don't make me do it, just make me more terrified.
Oh, I'll show you.
Yeah, because it's like all
All right. So, Tom, did you get your second paragraph to go next to the icon?
I don't know.
and like that little dance from that
Your picture is on the right. Wow.
You really just did.
Yeah, I did.
So you better right.
Oh.
So then your that
Touch my toes. Don't touch it. Stop.
I did. Back.
And then,
Sorry, I'm not making that. It's 50 years. That's the price.
Wow.
Gentlemen, ladies, come on.
Now it's her. I'll show you. All
All right, so folks, do we at least have this? Everyone has this, where they have a paragraph, either to the left or the right of their picture. They have a border around their picture and they have a paragraph below. If you don't have it, now's the time to ask, please. We're good? All right, let's take a look then at our next thing that we're going to do. What we're going to do next is, sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with my notes. We are going to make Mrs. Potato Head or a second paragraph. If you don't have another paragraph, you need to make one. So for me, I just did a second paragraph saying Mrs. Potato Head is quite lovely. She is fashion forward and loves to wear the latest trends. That was my last paragraph. So quick, make a paragraph if you did not. I don't care if it's nonsense at this point. You just need to do it. So it's the very last paragraph I'm going to have in my program, my HTML program. Should be a P though. For this example, or for this section, folks, there's two ways that we can do this. Our first way was what we just did. We gave a special ID just to the paragraph. Our second way is we're going to create another div and have some information or be able to do things with this section that just happen to have the paragraph in it. So we could either specially name a paragraph or we can create a section that we put the paragraph in, and that's what we're doing here. We're going to create a special area that happens to have the paragraph in. So, do you have your paragraph? That's the last thing. It can be anything you want. You could say, type, this is the longest HTML file I've ever made. But it does have to have at least the paragraph opening and closing tags. Please. Once you have that, we're now going to put that whole paragraph into a special section. So it's going to be a special div. So we're going to have div, ID, equals, quotation marks. You can call this whatever you want. You just need to remember. Mine is going to be called M for Mrs. Potato Head, potato pic, because it's going to have the picture in it as well. Well, oh, not MPic, sorry. Actually, I'm going to make it MP box 2. That's much easier. My fault. I got ahead of me. So guys, my paragraph is going to be inside a div called MP box 2. I need a backslash div for that. So this is all I did. It's the last thing in your file. So worst case scenario, you just go to the very end above above backslash HTML backslash body backslash div, and you just put a new div section in there. Call it something with some crazy paragraph. Once you have that, we're going to go back to our CSS and do some styling. So you're going to make another hashtag. Hashtag, and mine is going to be called MPBox, whatever you just named this. MPBox2, opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket, and we're going to do our CSS work in there. First things first, I'd like to check to see if the background color is going to be different. So I'm going to do that. Background color and make it a background color just to make sure everything's working. My background color is going to be a set color. I actually had it written down. So F3, F1, EF. But yours can be something, yours can be green, yours can be pink, yours can be purple. Purple is actually very pretty. It's just very dark. Save and refresh. And let's just make sure that that paragraph does turn a color. All I did was add one last paragraph and made it a color. Yes, Jared. I don't either. All we did was make it a paragraph.
Well, like,
In the background, search HTML.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, okay. Now, copy,
yeah. Just that.
SFA 500.
Remember when you scratched my back? And I didn't realize it was.
So, that's the one that's there.
Yeah, I can do that. I think it's like the last thing I want. Yeah. Hey. Oh. Yeah. No. You're supposed to.
So I was thinking the background for every page. What do you think?
Yeah, I know.
It's now should actually fit.
So you go into the some of no, like.
Oh, no, I gotta be.
Got it. I just changed it.
Stop, Darren.
Hey, Darren, have a seat, please. Leave the ladies alone. Or vice versa, whatever's going on over there. Come on. Hey, I said whatever's going on in there. I don't care whoever's doing what. Just stop. There. Does that make it easier? Why is it so bad?
Yeah, that's.
All right, folks. So, Owen, you have a question? Are you stretching? Okay. Ladies, are we good? All right, so folks, with this, our background has a beautiful color. Mine is some ugly looking, funky, I don't know, brown or something. I'm going to give it some width. So if you haven't given it a width, do so now. Width. I'm going to give it something relatively small. Mine's going to be 470. And I'm also going to give it some padding. And I'm going to just say 10 pixels so it's not so close to the edge. And I'm going to give it a height. Oops, it helps to spell height. My height is going to be 340 pixels, but you can have it whatever you would like. And I'm going to have it float left. One. Eventually my picture should, or this, not picture, but my div called my, or MP box 2 should be on the left side. And sure enough, there it is. It's actually on the left side of the screen, underneath my picture. It's not the prettiest, but it's there. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, you got it. Why is this? Why is this? I know how they need to.
All right, while you're waiting, I need you to find one more picture and put it after that div that we just did, please. So find one more picture and write and make 3 bullet points of something. After the picture, after that div. All right, folks, once you have a picture, actually, once you just have this, folks, you have a homework assignment.
So.
Libby, you look. Thank you. All right, folks, here's the deal. For tomorrow, what I need from you for homework, and you've got about 20 minutes to do this if you're already at this point. If you are here where you have a box below your picture and it's got float left, so it's floating left. If you are there, you can start your homework. Everyone else, though, can do this homework at home. Your homework for tomorrow is, let me go to Schoology here. It will not take you that long. I guarantee you. Your homework for tomorrow, and I can't say this enough, make sure you have it, is, I know it seems like a lot, you just need a folder that has an images folder, HTML file, CSS file, proper CSS, proper HTML, background color. 3 subheaders. I don't care if they're H2s, H4s, H6s. And then you need at least 2 sentences, paragraphs for each subheader. I don't care if the sentence is, cats run fast. Cats are pretty. It's 2 sentences, right? So that should be easy. 2 links to sites, 2 links to sites on the web that pertain to your subject. So you just need 2 links that go to cats.com and Cats Wikipedia. And then 1 image. That is all you need by tomorrow. Before class, you can submit it. If you do not turn it in before the beginning of class, you will not be able to make up these points. I will have a dummy for you ready to go so you can borrow it to finish up the assignment. It'll just be of cats or something ridiculous that I grab. Unless you have an excused absence. So clearly if you're sick or something like that, yeah, you can hand it in next day. But for this, it just needs to be ready to go for tomorrow. Okay? But like I said, your sentences don't need to be long. Cats are pretty. Cats run fast.
Oh my God, what is
Okay, like very light and very dark. Take a moment,
No, I didn't sit here.
See all the stuff? Just find scatter.
Are you serious? That's
They are so new. Yeah. Special seats. Yeah, like, this is a one. Oh, yeah. Come on. Negative. And so,
I was thinking second, so who's going back?
I could do the last part.
Oh, I have to do that, just choose.
who else is working on? Who else has one?
And it's gonna have more space. I use the space. It's the big, it's instead of block.
And then don't forget tomorrow you guys have quiz too.
Span is what I use for this. So I want to make sure that.
It will be open note, open program. Your quiz.
They just want to be there till